Okay, so the first tool that you're going to use is a T-square. Make sure that the blick side is facing up, and you can actually attach this to the side of the table, and this will help you draw horizontal lines. Another tool that you will be using today is a triangle. In the bag that I've given you guys, you will have a 4H pencil and a 2B pencil. Make sure that you use the 4H to draw, because the 2B you will use to actually shade. You will also have an eraser in the bag that I give you. Please make sure you take off the blue wrapping on it, because it will actually mark up your paper. So I'm just grabbing some tape. This is paper tape. What I'm going to do with the T-square is I'm going to align it on the side of the table, and this will help me square up my paper so that it's perfectly horizontal. This is important because this will help make sure that every single line that you draw horizontally will be parallel to the paper. Okay, so I'm going to take 4 pieces of tape, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking some adhesive off using my shirt right now. This is a good step because it will help make sure that when you take the tape off your paper, it won't rip the paper. I like to tape the bottom corners first, and then once those are secure, then I go ahead and I move to the top of the paper. Okay, now my prep work is all done. So there's 3 lines that I'm going to talk to you about. The first line is a horizontal line, which goes side to side. The second line is a vertical line, which goes up and down. And then the third line is diagonal, which goes corner to corner. Okay, so I'm first going to take my T-square, and I'm going to make a horizon line in the center of the paper. Now it doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but somewhere in the middle of the paper will be fine. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to make a dot in the center of the paper, and that will be your vanishing point. Okay, so I'm going to draw 1 point perspective boxes in each corner of the paper. The first line that I'm going to draw is a horizontal line. So I'm going to use my T-square. I'm going to draw 1 line. And then I'm going to draw the second line below the first line. These are both horizontal lines. Okay, so I'm going to take my triangle to draw my vertical lines. Now I want to show you that there is a longer side on this triangle and 2 shorter sides. You're going to pick one shorter side and line it up with your T-square just like this, and this will create a perfect vertical line. So I'm going to line it up. I'm going to draw my first vertical line to connect the 2 horizontal lines I first drew. Once this is completed, you should have a rectangle. If you've overlined your rectangle, you can take your eraser and just erase any overlinings. This is how you clean up your drawing. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the diagonal lines. I'm going to use my triangle for this, and I'll use the longer side just because it's easier. I'm going to draw a diagonal line from each corner of the rectangle. The diagonal line will go all the way to the vanishing point from the corner. So first, I'm going to start on the left top corner. I'm going to draw a diagonal line to the vanishing point. Then I'll go over to the right top corner and draw my second diagonal. Third, I'll go to the bottom right and draw a diagonal to the vanishing point. So I should have 3 diagonal lines at this point. So there is a 4th line, and this diagonal line is actually going to be inside of the box. So I'm going to line it up to the vanishing point. I'm going to draw a dotted line, and that dotted line signifies that that line is invisible or unseen. It is actually inside the box, which is different than the 3 other lines that I drew. So you should have 4 total, 3 being visible on the outside, and then 1 dotted line that's on the inside. I'm going to actually connect them with a horizontal line using my T-square. This is actually drawing the top edge of the back of the box. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the top right diagonal with the bottom right diagonal, making a vertical line. And you're just going to line up the shorter side of the triangle with the T-square and connect those two with the vertical line. And that will create the right-hand side of the back of the box. So the next thing I'm going to do is connect the inside dotted diagonal line. I'm going to connect that with the left bottom diagonal, and I will do that with a T-square, making a horizontal line. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect that dotted diagonal with the top left diagonal, and I will do that with a vertical line, lining my triangle up with my T-square, and that will complete the back of the box. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to start from the back of the box, and I'm going to erase all those diagonal lines that are going to the vanishing point. Pretty soon you'll notice that you have a 3-dimensional box. I will say, make sure that you erase along the edges and get all those overlining marks to show that you have high quality craftsmanship. This is really important. Make sure that you locate the back of the box, which is just that square that you drew, and erase any dotted line that's inside of that box. After you do that, just go around, double check, make sure everything looks clean, and then your first 1 point perspective box is completed.